A new headache tonight for Republican Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker. Do you remember that fight over the collective bargaining statute that caused 14 Democratic senators to flee to the state of Illinois? Well, a Wisconsin judge issued a temporary order against the governor at the time, and now she's made it permanent. She's pulling the plug on the governor's controversial collective bargaining law. The case is now headed to the Wisconsin Supreme Court. But what about the political impact? Karl Rove joins us. He's a former senior advisor to President George Bush and the author of the book Courage and Consequence. Karl, nice to see you. And this certainly is a blow, but maybe a little bit expected by the governor of Wisconsin. But he lost this round.
Well, he was expected to lose this. The bill passed on March 9th. On March 18th, this judge, Judge Sumi, put a temporary order forbidding the implementation of the law. She made it permanent today. The Supreme Court had already signaled that it was going to take this up on June 6th. So this really sort of cleared the decks. Nothing really changed. The law had already been stayed. She has simply stayed it until the Supreme Court acted on June 6th. But there is an odd calendar later this year. June 6th, the Supreme Court hears this case. July 15th, we start to have these special elections that could change the makeup of the state Senate. And you know, if the Supreme Court upholds the law is upheld. If the Supreme Court says that the passage of the law did violate the Open Records Act, or excuse me, Open Meetings Act, and that they didn't give sufficient cause for 2 hours notice, then the outcome of those elections could affect whether or not the bill gets passed.
Doesn't take a little bit of the wind out of the sails of the Republicans. I mean, I understand, you know, the nuances of what you just said, but to have Governor Walker lose this round, even though it's anticipated, and lose the race in upstate New York the other day, a seat that had been Republican, a Democratic seat, does that not take a little bit of the wind out of the sails of the Republicans?
Well, I think the New York 26 election does, but I don't think this does, because this had been anticipated inside the state. In fact, in a way, the Democrats were looking, I think, forward to the opportunity of a long court case that would occupy time between now and June 6th, lots of witnesses being called, lots of kerfluffle. And instead, the judge surprised everybody by issuing this with no trial, or even indicating that she wasn't going to have a trial. So, in a way, this was this removed the opportunity for theater on the part of the Democrats. The Supreme Court was going to settle this. They'd taken the case, they were going to hold it on, hear it on June 6th. You know, this in Wisconsin was not much of a surprise.